Welcome back to the Beacon World League, where it is that favourite time of Saturday. Oh, it's so good. We're heading to the Div 1 action, and my God, what kind of matches do we have lined up for you today? I mean, we just got to dive straight on into it. We talked about Div 1 at the top of the day, how it's close, especially at the top, EPOS and Barbos, yada, yada, yada. It's all very exciting. Head on over to eCircuit Mania and take a look at the scoreboard and the leaderboard for yourselves. But we're getting into our first match, and we are going to see eLconn. We're going to see Barbos, we're going to see Whizzy, and we're going to see the people's champion as well, Magorian, coming in from Poland, having given us a lovely interview last week. Melio, I mean, there's a lot to talk about here. Barbos really, I think, needs a big result this week.
Yeah, for sure. Barbos has trained and will be good as he is always. So I wouldn't be surprised if he's really, really good on this match. He needs the point because he's 11. It's 4, so if you want to do something now, you have to play his best gameplay.
Speaking of big results, Magorian currently sitting 4th in Division 1, Boney. I mean, having an absolutely huge performance so far. A lot of momentum. It's going to be difficult maybe to keep that going, but it'd be a great time to put up the numbers against some players who struggled maybe a little bit in Week 1 relative to where we thought they'd be.
Yeah, and I think this match in particular as well, already having set a great result for these past 3 matches, I think this match perhaps may be one that, he's maybe not looking forward to as much as he would like for his 3rd match, right? eLconn, Barbos, and Whizzy, all 3 players, formidable opponents to deal with, but he's shown off last week that he is capable of taking on big players, and I'm very curious to see if this time around he's able to, as you say, keep it up and perhaps be the big winner for today. I know he has that potential, and he's seemingly being reasonably well at performing under the gun, considering his seeding results.
Yeah, absolutely. So before we get into this pick ban, I am going to come back to you, Melio, and ask for a quick little prediction on how things are going to go down.
That's odd.
Yeah.
That's odd. But I would say eLconn first.
Okay.
Barbos 2nd, Magorian 3rd, and Whizzy 4th.
Okay, Boney.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
quick,
say
Boney, quick, fast.
Barbos 1st, Magorian 2nd, eLconn 3rd, Whizzy 4th. I'm just throwing him out. I'm throwing him out.
Slow it down. That time pressure made it wild. I don't know what just happened to your predictions, but eLconn,
Barbos, Magorian, eLconn, Whizzy. There you go.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Fair enough. We'll see how it goes. eLconn getting the ban has taken Galafu off the table. We will get to see Perseverance another time today. Wonderful. In fact, we'll see it first. We are going to see Perseverance more than once. Bit of a shift up there by Barbos. Whizzy is going to go with Ruby, and it's then down to Meltdown or Miata for the final pick for Magorian. Meltdown is in 4th. So it's going to show up at a relatively stressful time in the match, but maybe not quite as stressful as it has been for some players, Meliu.
It's a good thing that eLconn got the ban, because I think that people will ban him for sure, Meltdown, because there is ice. So the thing that he got the ban first is really good for him. And now he got a pretty good advantage on the other player.
Yeah, I mean, gets the ban and then everyone just refuses to pick Meltdown early, which again, we saw a lot more of in Week 1, but in this match in particular, as you note, they're just happy not to play eLconn on the ice. Boney, before we do throw it on over to the casters, there is one interesting thing I want to note here, which is that Magorian, despite sitting in 4th place, having won a match and come 2nd in another, has only picked up 1 match record, and in fact won a match without getting a single match record point out of it as well, which is very unusual. He's been surviving on consistency.
Yeah, and that really, I mean, that goes to show how consistency versus having these highs and lows can prove beneficial, or perhaps not as beneficial as could have been. Hopefully this time around he's able to perhaps push that consistency further into a match record, but I think with eLconn, Barbos, and Whizzy behind him, it's going to be a tough one for him to pick up more points from that side.
Yeah, well, we've done all the talking that we can. All that remains is to get into the action for Division 1 of the Beacon World League, and to take us through the action of this first match of the weekend, we are heading over to the caster desk. We're heading to Babs and Twiggy.
Hello everybody, welcome to Div 1 of the Beacon World League for the first time today, and we have got a banger of a matchup for you. We were talking about it, or they were talking about it for a little bit there how eLconn has first seeding, so it has the best times, but is also not really setting the best times in the server. Is able to get wins without even setting match records. And I think that's a really important part of this, is he's able to get himself the ban in the map pick and bans, and I think that is a big part of the consistency thing here.
Yeah, absolutely. Melio mentioned that him getting the ban means that Meltdown does stay on the board. He's looked so impressive on Meltdown. It seems like it's a map that really suits him. So the fact that it stays on the board is really good. Now it seems like the other players have sort of talked about it, and they've met that Meltdown is going to be our 4th map played, which is basically sure that we're not going to revisit it then. So eLconn will only benefit from it once. But this match is going to be super interesting. We have 4 very different profiles of players. You know, we've eLconn, the keyboard player, has played TMGL. You've got Magorian, the old sort of tech Andy, and he's been playing the game for years. Barbos is just a beast, and Whizzy is an incredible wheel player as well. So a really exciting game in prospect, yeah.
Yeah, I think this is one of those ones that could really go any direction. I think especially with eLconn having that kind of tendency to play relatively safely, not go for a massive amount of fast times in the server. I think it's going to be interesting to see who gets the most points out of this one, especially in that kind of 2nd and 3rd position, who can maximize their potential in this matchup, because these players are very close actually in terms of the standings currently. You know, despite the fact they have different playstyles, despite the fact they kind of have different strengths, they have managed to stay in a relatively similar position so far. So whoever's going to come out on top this time around is going to really gain from this specific match.
And man, oh man, what we saw in Division 2, was just incredible. I think even the players who had a poor performance deserve massive praise. I'm just incredibly excited to see what we have in Division 1 now.
Yeah, well, into our first map, Perseverance here. It's been floated so many times before, even banned out, so many times before. It's kind of wild to be seeing it twice in a row this time around. There is development going on here. People are learning new maps. Who would have thunk it? Either way, eLconn starts things off with a little bit of a slow start, down by a couple of tenths from his competitors for the time being, but everybody's staying very close together. Hopefully we see minimal mistakes here.
Yeah, there has been a small mistake, but only from one of our players. That was eLconn. He's had a bit of a poor start. As I said, Meltdown still awaits, so maybe he'll be looking to have a better performance in the second half of this cycle, but for the moment it's Barbos and Whizzy who are leading, and they have a bit of a gap to Magorian, who's in 3rd. eLconn is, however, catching up. He's only 0.2 behind our 3rd position at the moment, but it's a very clean round from Barbos and Whizzy. They look to be on very good times. Something happened to Barbos there. He just sent it into a pillar.
Yeah, I tried to squeeze between the edge of the checkpoint and a pillar there. Not sure what happened. Gone a different direction. Didn't quite work out. You can't go your own way. I can't remember what band did that one, so I can't really make the reference properly there. But Whizzy will cross the line first. Magorian just about makes that finish line, and eLconn exercises what I think eLconn has been exercising most of the rounds he's played so far, which is just don't crash. You can make a mistake, just don't crash and you won't come last, pretty much. We're seeing a lot of crashes in the Beacon World League, and I think the thing is, this is a completely different kind of map style to ones that we've been seeing in the Premier kind of Trackmania esports divisions for quite a while. So having something that's more traditional, more kind of, not techie, but more kind of competition style, I think is still something players are getting used to a little more in leagues of this kind of variety.
Yeah, absolutely. But from what we've heard from the players, it seems like they're all enjoying it a lot, and that tends to bring out the best in all of them. As it doesn't seem to have brought out the best in Whizzy on that certain drift, as he gets a bit of a nose slide. But again, Barbos is leading this round. He's ahead of eLconn, and he's got a good gap. Well, they've got a good gap actually to Magorian. He's behind, who seems to be a little bit slower generally. eLconn clips just the wheel a tiny bit on that outside dirt, means he loses a few tenths to Barbos, but very importantly stays ahead of Magorian.
Yeah, well, Barbos stays in first place for the time being, quite a decent lead on him for now, and that's very important considering that crash in the first round. Crossing the line first means that at the very least you are not going to be in last for very long. eLconn will drop down to 89 points. Whizzy, whoa, yeah,
points.
That's beautiful. And, well, everybody stays now within 1 point of each other. We dropped to 90, 89, 89, and 90.
I'd like to think that Whizzy just let out a little wicked under his breath as he did that. With the silence in his room, or he might be listening to a bit of music and just feeling it and thought he might go for the style points. Unfortunately, it's not going to get him any extra points in this match, but always nice to see. As it seems in this round, all 4 players have gotten off to a clean start. Barbos sending it really close to that outside dirt, but eLconn is leading the way for the moment.
Yeah, this time Barbos in 4th position, but as we've seen, it really doesn't matter until somebody makes that mistake, and Whizzy, couple of crashes over and over, just gets worse and worse as you keep making mistakes. You're not able to take the lines you want to anymore, now down by 2 seconds from the rest of the competitors here. eLconn up in 1st place. All the players struggling a little bit to get warmed up into this one, get the consistency that we want out of them in this, and well, for the time being, at the very least, everybody is on equal terms with that one, Babs, staying on close points.
Yeah, and most importantly, Magorian, who is within touching distance of a 2nd or a 1st tee, has struggled in those previous rounds, but a poor landing and a poor drift is going to mean that he's going to drift away from those extra points. Barbos is catching up to eLconn slightly. He seems to have a bit more speed, goes a bit more inside at the end, and actually eLconn misses, has to respawn, but Whizzy is too far behind. Barbos takes a win in that round. Magorian 2nd.
Oh, Whizzy. Just get the tree bounce over the finish line, go on. Yeah, it's all good. There we go. Got it. But yeah, Whizzy now dropping down into last position. eLconn will be pretty close behind there. Magorian on 85 now. Things are going to start to split apart here. And Barbos, in 1st place for the time being, is the player lowest in the standings on this lobby at the moment. So this would be a massive boon for Barbos if he manages to keep this up and hopefully grab a match record out of this one. Still Whizzy in last place with the match record right now.
Yeah, and word behind the scenes is that Barbos has been unfortunately a bit ill this week, so might be actually limited on practice time. Now, I don't know how loudly he's been saying that, because it doesn't seem like it's been affecting him in this match at all. He seems to be performing quite well so far. It might be, though, that Perseverance is just a map that favours him, that he enjoys more than our other players, because for the moment, again, he's leading the way, but this time it's a lot closer than we've seen before.
Yeah, Magorian gets a wheel touch there on one of the barriers, drops back into 4th position. eLconn narrowly avoiding the slalom of walls as he moves on through. Whizzy just trying to stay up in that top 3, maximise the points out of this map. As it seems like Barbos is doing well on this one, and you got to play to your strengths, do well on the maps that you do well on, and then you can kind of try and hang on for the rest of them. Barbos stays in 1st position. Whizzy has a little more speed, goes inside, and not going to have enough to overtake for the finish line. It's so close, 17 thousandths, but Whizzy not only hangs on to the match record there, but also does not come any lower than 2nd place. Things are staying pretty tight right now.
Yeah, absolutely. All 3 players sort of sending it in formation into the finish. It seems like we haven't had a big winner. Maybe Barbos was our best player on Perseverance, but I think Magorian is probably the one that has lost the most after map 1. He had a lot of 3rd and 4th positions, and yeah, he's gonna wanna pick it up into our next map.
Yeah, for sure. Well, it's going to be an important one for all of them. Obviously, once you're out of the way with one map, now you've got to do completely different stuff. All of these maps are so kind of independent of each other. They have the same kind of things in them, but I think they all have different kind of parts which are difficult, if you get what I mean. Like, there's different things you have to watch out for. Suddenly, there's a lot of different timings on the stuff you're doing. So, for these players, and especially for Barbos, now that he's been able to create a point difference, it's going to be so important to try and maintain that, try and stay up towards the top, because I do feel like for Barbos, it is not the case of, especially if he's ill, it's not the case of being completely now just after what was kind of a lackluster performance in the first 2 matches, completely different player. You know, you're still going to be trying to make up those points, still has a lot of difference to make up, needs to keep this up now.
Yeah, and it might be easy to look at the sort of the league standings and think, oh, you know, Barbos isn't on his best form. I'm probably going to be able to beat him. As we've seen in Division 2, these 3rd and 4th matches really decide who's going to be hoping to get those top spots, who's going to be looking to win some money in this tournament, and who's going to be looking to just stay out of those relegation positions.
Yeah, well, moving here on to Ruby. None of the players on this one, or in this lobby specifically, have a division record. We're still waiting to see if any of them are going to get close to that one from Barbos, which is within 3/10 of the world record, but see if anybody else rises to the top on this map. Whizzy, Magorian, eLconn all have a couple of points to make up here on Barbos, who is well out ahead. 15 points, pretty much the difference between him and everybody else, but Whizzy is the first one to make a small mistake, drop back by half a second.
Yeah, and I know Whizzy has put a lot of time into Ruby during this week. He does stream most of his practice, and he did hold the world record at some point during the week, which Broly ended up taking off him again and taking possession of it. But it is not a great first round for Whizzy at the moment. He trails our 3 top players as we are heading out of this plastic section. It's a really close fight between eLconn and Barbos at the front. Again, Magorian traditionally just staying a few car lengths off of the front of the race, but is within striking distance if any of our front 2 were to make a mistake heading into this last section. It's really important to be tight there, carry good speed. Both of them do. It's as if we've only got 1 car as we head into the end. Who is going to actually take it as we head to the finish? Ooh. It's half a tenth difference, but it's eLconn who leads ahead of Barbos. Magorian comes 3rd, and Whizzy, after that early mistake, settles for 4th.
It's a brilliant time as well, only 16 thousandths off the division record there from eLconn. So that's going to be a pretty solid max record to beat for the other 3 players. Pretty intimidating stuff from round 1 there for eLconn, and setting a precedent for the rest of these. Hopefully eLconn can keep up those times and manage to get get his first match point or match record point for the past week, and also gain himself back some standing in this lobby, because Barbos built up quite a nice lead, and now everybody just trying to take it away from him.
Yeah, we've seen how important those map records are when we come to the overall standings. You know, in Division 2 we have Tween, he has that almost unassailable lead thanks to taking those map records consistently in his matches. So being consistent, winning these matches is important, but being the fastest is not just as important, but it goes a long way as well. As at the moment we've got probably the cleanest round we've seen so far on Ruby. You've got 3 players contesting the first place. Again, Magorian is lacking behind in that 4th position. It's Whizzy who seems to lead the line for the moment. Barbos has more speed than eLconn, but eLconn gets a really good exit out of the water. He's going to lose speed there. He actually clips Whizzy as well, sends it into the finish. Somehow finishes on the same time as Barbos, but it seems like Barbos has taken that one. No, Whizzy has. Whizzy gets the -0 despite finishing on the same time.
Wow. I mean, yeah, Whizzy was ahead at the final checkpoint there. So, alphabet difference debunked. Unlucky. But yeah, Whizzy taking that wider line, that was scary for a second there. Barbos had such a beautiful line through the end. Managed to catch up about a 10th pretty much on that final turn. Absolutely insane scenes. And Whizzy hopefully now looking to build upon that. Barbos falling down, probably still reeling from the result of that last round now. Still replaying in his mind, back in 4th position this time around. eLconn gets a little bit of an awkward bump, falls back into 3rd position.
Yeah, and the first map and a half of this match has shown us that this is going to be a real fight between these 4 players. Maybe Magorian a little bit below the rest, and as I say that, he takes a comfortable 1st position currently in this round, but he's ahead of eLconn, who's looked really good on this map so far, and eLconn is probably going to try and push for that 1st position, as we've seen him do so many times before in his career. He gets a really good line into the dirt. Magorian actually clips. Is probably going to give up his 2nd place to Whizzy. He does. He comes out of the water in 2nd position. eLconn is going to take 1st in this round. Magorian clips again. That's going to be 4th for him. Oh, that's so disappointing.
Oh, and yeah, things just get worse and worse for you as you make one mistake. Like, your lines are thrown off. You have to, adapt in the moment. And I think what happened there for Magorian was it just gets worse and worse as you go. Oh, We're not quite done yet. Not quite done with Ruby. Not quite. I was like, that's my face. That's interesting. Either way, all good. Yeah. Go on. Check the thing. Yeah, no, it's still round 4. It said it in the bottom left. Either way, Magorian now has a 10-point difference from second and third to make up. Barbos staying out ahead, maintaining that 10-point gap from second place.
Yeah, absolutely. And Ruby so far has shown that every player can drive those good times, but Magorian, who seemed to be on a good round in the last one, make those 2 important mistakes and dropped straight down to 4th. He hasn't been able to keep it together for the moment. He's again in 3rd position in this round. It's Barbos who's trailing behind for the moment. This dirt uphill, ever so important to keep good speed out of it and get a good line onto the entry into the black platform here. Barbos sends it, gets a bit too much airtime, and it seems like it's between eLconn and Whizzy as we head into the end.
Staying neck and neck for the time being. A little wobble there. Whizzy with less speed. eLconn with a nicer line. Nobody crashing into the pole. Whizzy will comfortably come home to second place, but eLconn importantly gets back that first place that he's kind of been vying for a little while and not quite managing to get. The scores are starting to split apart a little more. We're starting to get, Barbos is losing out on a couple more points, so I think we're going to be seeing first and then kind of second and third with Whizzy and eLconn getting there. Magorian's starting to slip down now.
Yeah, absolutely. And having watched the first matches today and the matches last week, I feel like I've been privied off these multiple last chance matches, and I want to see one of those. I feel like you've gotten more than I have, and I feel left out.
Yeah.
I want to see you some
fair,
triple,
yeah.
some quad last chance.
Yeah, well, I think the thing is, who knows? The amount we had in Division 2 today is insane. I feel like we're all last chanced out. Is there like I feel like there's a certain amount that can be applied to players, and now we've run out of them. I don't know if that's possible anymore. Either way, I would like to see another triple last chance. We'll see if that happens. People are staying pretty close for the time being, and I think everybody in Division 1 has the potential to stay on last chance for a while, so it's possible.
Yeah, and it's as much of a battle on the track as it is a mental battle in itself as well. We saw so many players who have a bad start to the match, go into last chance maybe first, and then end up, getting second in that match just because they've been able to pick it up when it matters. And as you said, all of these players in Division 1 are capable of doing that. We are heading on to Miata, and this is Magorian's pick. A lot of players saying that this is a bit more of a tech-heavy map, so it might be one that favours Magorian as well. I know he took a fancy to it straight from release, so he'll be looking for a good performance here.
We'll find out now if he can make up the point. Oh, the orb. If he can make up the point difference. Oh my god.
Ooh.
Can somebody add like a vine boom to the zoom in on that? That would be, yep. Oh my, whoa. Okay, now we're starting to look like Nua's camera before we went live. Terrifying stuff. Trying to set up some kind of green screen, even though he has a green screen already.
Thank you for explaining what you meant by that, Whizzy, Twiggy, because could have meant anything.
Well, I feel like there's nothing bad that it could be where the camera went blue. I don't know. The bar in the middle of the screen. What have you done, Thomas? Oh no, the obelisk. Either way, now stop it! For Magorian, now important that he stays in first position, and for us, important that we actually watch the players.
We have summoned the orb, and it has come back to disrupt our broadcast of this match. But the only player who's been disrupted for the moment, actually make that too, is Barbos and Magorian. They've both had a clip. It's out between eLconn and Whizzy. So we head into that risky jump down into the dirt. eLconn gets a very nice line, avoids any airtime, but he's followed very closely by Whizzy, who seems to have lost a gear there actually, and he's going to lose a few tenths because of that. This looks like eLconn's round to take. Whizzy claims another gear. And is he going to make this risky finish? Yes, he does comfortably. But it is going to be in second position. It's going to be eLconn who takes the -0.
Yeah, quite nice, that's good. Quite deceptively close that round. Magorian only 1 second behind the leader there by the end of it. Not an insanely fast round overall, all things considered, but Barbos has now dropped down into second place. eLconn overtakes into first. things are staying close with the top 3 here. Magorian having a little bit more of a difficult time staying up there. A few more mistakes are creeping in, or at the very least, more impactful mistakes.
Yeah, and we've lost the black bar. Hooray for that.
Thank God.
We can see that top third of our screen.
I'll sleep comfortably at night tonight,
Yeah,
knowing that there's no black bar hovering over me.
the orb has been kind to us.
The benevolent orb.
As unfortunately hasn't been kind to eLconn in this round. He is the one who has made a mistake, but he only finds himself 0.4 off of our leaders Magorian and Barbos, and they're going to be fighting it out for the ever so important -0 in this round, it seems like, as Whizzy takes an interesting line into that risky section. He's still behind the leaders, though. He's going to have to make something happen. Gets a bit of airtime, somehow keeps...
Oh my
God! Barbos goes flying. Magorian is in first. Barbos has to respawn, finds himself in fourth. It's going to be Magorian to take the -0 in this one. He went flying there, Twiggy.
Make sure to book your tickets for the Barbos space program. Our destination is the Blue Orb, and cheapest space operation that money can buy. You don't need to be Jeff Bezos to get on that one. Just tune into Beacon World League, and we'll send you off on Barbos Airlines over to the Blue Orb. Beautiful destination, actually. Lovely sea views.
Great weather at the moment too. As Barbos will be hoping, that no mistake will be happening to him again in this round, that he stays out of any rainy situation and keeps it on track, and maybe gets a better finishing position than he did in that last round. He's looked good on this map so far. He's looked quite fast compared to the other 3 players, but at the moment he's going to have to make something happen. He currently finds himself in that 4th position at the moment.
Yeah, well, not too far behind whatsoever. Everybody coming very close to slamming into the pole there, really risking it round that corner. Magorian stays in first place. Barbos has gained a lot of speed, might just be able to move up into third here as we get to our first speed check. Things still staying so tight. Magorian holding on to first for his life here. Again, now down by 20 points from the closest player behind. Needs to make every single round count here. While there are still 4 players in the server, that -0 is so important. Magorian is going to make it there first. And we hold position. Magorian taking match record as well. As you can see, they're powered by eCircuit Mania. But another close round. Beautiful round from everyone involved. Evens things out once again.
Yeah, the match record, so the time that Magorian currently holds is the fastest of any player on this map. So on Miata he has the fastest time, which means that he will get an extra point if he does hold that until the end of this match. With 1 round left, that's looking likely to happen, and we have 1 map record for 3 of our players. The only one not holding a map record at the moment is Barbos, and he has looked good in this match, so he's going to be hoping that he can pick some up in the second half of this rotation.
Yeah, well, you said you wanted to see some double, triple, quadruple last chances happening. I feel like if there was ever a time for it to happen, it is going to be this lobby. Still only 22 points difference between 4th and 1st place, and everybody else kind of distributed within that range now. Magorian and Barbos currently 1st and 2nd here in this round. Magorian trying to make up that point difference as much as possible once again. Had a good round last time. Can he overtake Barbos to make the same thing happen this time and even things out ever further? Barbos staying up in 1st. Takes a slightly better line up there, but gets a bit of airtime on the exit of the grass section. Magorian has more speed, overtakes, it looks good, but he's going a bit wide. It's still close, but Magorian manages to make it happen by 1/100th of a second. And clutches things up, evens things out slightly further.
And nearly improves his own match record, only finished 200ths off at the same time, so the consistency there from Magorian really important. We said he needed to have a good map if he wanted to catch up to the other players, and he has done so. So he's put himself in a good position to maybe catch up, maybe get himself out of that 4th position, and adding a nice map record point to that as well.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's an absolutely brilliant map from Magorian there, all things considered, because when you look at it, obviously you want to do as well as you can in the server in this matchup specifically, but it's not about this matchup. You're not playing directly against these players. You just want to maximize your points out of it. It's a league system, and therefore getting that max record not only is something that does not matter your performance over the whole thing, but also it adds to your overall standings. And right now, Magorian is in a pretty good position in the standings. 4th place currently. eLconn the only person ahead. So if you're finishing 4th overall in this lobby, that's a really, really bad look. You need to be getting a little higher, but getting those max points is going to really help out with that.
Yeah, and one of these 4 players, I would expect to be finishing in the top 4 come the end of the season. They'll be wanting to be getting some prize money, because the prize money is split across our top 4 players. If you're not in that, then you're just fighting to stay in Division 1. But we've seen 3 maps in this match, and I don't know about you, Twiggy, but I could not predict who's going to win this one.
Absolutely not. I genuinely couldn't pick one name ahead of any others. Right now, Barbos seems slightly, I wouldn't say more consistent, but faster in general than most of the players in the server. But I really don't know at this point. Magorian obviously has been driving fast times, but has been slightly inconsistent over the first 3 maps. eLconn, similar kind of story. Has been setting max records, but very few and far between, and making a lot of massive errors in a few of these rounds. Everybody is kind of in that same area. I think it's really going to come down to the wire here.
Yeah, definitely, but we might see that gaps sort of start to open up. eLconn is currently in 1st. He's 7 points ahead of Barbos, who is 2nd. But we are now on Meltdown, and this is the map that Melio was saying is going to be favouring eLconn. He's looked good on it last week. He's hoping to be good on it this week as well, and maybe extend the gap that he has to the rest of the field as we head into this beautiful 360. It's Whizzy who has the lead, but the exit is ever so important. Barbos is the one to slide out. Whizzy, with his wheel, has kept it tight to the borders and has kept good speed, but he's followed very closely by eLconn. It's only about 2 car lengths, and Magorian as well is in 3rd, and we've seen this finish cause issues before.
Yeah, this is a chance now for Magorian to move up into 3rd place currently in the points. But I think slipped out a little bit at the end there. Either way, grips up nicely for the rest of the turn. Gets over that finish line just fine. Barbos is going to come home in 4th this time around. Whizzy starting to make moves up back towards the top of the standings here. Things getting really, really close. I think, yeah, Barbos and Magorian now 3 points away from each other. Whizzy and eLconn 4 points away from each other. But still the gap between 4th and 1st, only 16 points.
That's an early mistake from eLconn, which will probably mean that he's out of this round, bar any shenanigans. And to be honest, I wouldn't rule that out, considering what we've seen in Division 2 today. I think that was a bit of a cheeky wall bang from eLconn on the back of his car, just to get a little bit of extra speed and try and catch up to this front tree. For the moment, it's Whizzy who's looking good in 1st. He finished 1st in that last round, obviously. Another -0 would be a great start to Meltdown for him. But once again, this ice, this 360, anything can happen going in and going out of it. It's going to be interesting to see who has the advantage going into the end.
Yeah, Barbos didn't quite grip up last round. Looks good this round. Stays within the top 2 there, and Magorian clips a back wheel there on that turn. Gives eLconn back that 3rd position just about. Now Whizzy and Barbos up at the top 2. Barbos really wants to maximize points out of this round. Whizzy just trying to stay ahead and maybe overtake eLconn into this one. Magorian now really just trying to get back that 3rd position, but it's a bad entry. eLconn clips a wheel into it. It's a good exit from Magorian. That's all that matters. eLconn is going to finish 3rd place here. Whizzy takes a max record on that one. A very good time. But for eLconn, really starting to let that lead slip away.
Yeah, that's a surprising round from eLconn. He had the clip earlier on, managed to overcome it and come back, get into that 3rd spot, but just risks it too much at the end. You know, he is a player who likes going for those fast times, likes risking it when maybe he doesn't need to. And in that one, it's cost him another -10, and it's cost him the lead to this match.
Yeah, things are really heating up in the server now. 13 points. Literally anything could change in any one of these rounds. Players are going to be swapping all over the place here. Not 13 points. I forgot that Whizzy didn't lose any points last round. Never mind, 19 points. But either way, that's still only 2 rounds worth of differences going on. Still anything could really happen, especially when Magorian once again has dropped back, looking most likely to be the player on last chance first here, as eLconn wants to try and make up for the mistakes in the last couple of rounds and get back up to where he thinks he belongs.
Yeah, absolutely, and he's doing that exactly with that lovely exit from the ice. He's past Barbos. He's got only one player ahead of him now. He takes a very inside line onto the reactor, gets it as soon as possible, and maintains that speed into the dirt. He likes taking this wide line, carries that speed into the finish, but going up into the ice, it's so close between him and Whizzy. Who's going to take it? The wild player is a bit more inside, but the speed going into the end. Oh my god, it's a match record for Whizzy, and it's a -0, only 5 thousandths ahead of the Czech player. What a round.
Whizzy is bringing out some insanely clutch rounds here. Now has 2 match records. We've still got 1 round left to go of Meltdown. And it's so important now that, well, if you're anybody but Whizzy, you get this win here and you try and take that match record away, because this map is not going to be played again. In fact, there's a good chance that our 3rd map doesn't get played again with the way things are stacking up, with how many points everyone is losing here. This is a very close one. Barbos drops back, and that's going to be great for Magorian. Magorian going, okay, at the very least now I'm not going to be on last chance as we enter into the first round of next map. Pretty much impossible for me to come in 4th position here. You can safe this one down. And, I mean, for everyone else, for eLconn and Whizzy, they're both trying to now, they've got their sights on 1st position here. And eLconn only 10 points behind Whizzy. Just needs to try and get a 1st place here and close that gap a little bit.
Yeah, it sounded like you were trying your hardest to cast the Curse Magorian into the last chance there.
I wouldn't do something like that.
He's the fan favourite, don't forget, Twiggy, don't forget.
Exactly.
But he has kept it clean. Yeah, he is 0.8 behind our leaders. It's again a fight between eLconn and Whizzy. If Whizzy takes this round, that would be 4 first places out of 4, but eLconn is trying to stop that from happening. He does so exactly, but does not manage to take that match record, which means that that's been a brilliant map for Whizzy.
Yeah, Magorian will move down to last chance here, not able to catch up to the top 2. Makes him lose 7 points. Didn't matter in the end whether it was 7 or 10, so now down to 0 on last chance as we enter our first round of next map. But things are still so close. I mean, look, we have seen people hold on for 6, 7 rounds on last chance and still live to tell the tale. I don't think it is out of the question that Magorian pulls down a player or two to last chance with him.
Then again, we're heading back to Perseverance, where he did have a bit of a slow start to the match. But a player who might be looking to do exactly what you said is Barbos. He did look good on Perseverance, had maybe a mistake or 2 here and there. But yeah, it's looking good for that triple, double, quadruple last chance, who knows?
For sure, yeah. I mean, if we're looking at it that way, Whizzy and eLconn both had kind of, not perfect starts on this map, and I think if anything, that is just going to create the scenario where they're dragged down to, at the very least, maybe if not last chance, down to the same kind of points as Barbos, if Barbos manages to keep up the performance that he had last time we came to this map. I would love to see all of these players within about 10 points of each other towards the end of this one.
And that's exactly what I love about the reverse cup mode format. It creates these dogs fights. It's a mental battle to stay in it, know what you need to do, and then actually deliver on the track. Because if you cannot hold your nerve, you are going to make a mistake, especially on these maps, and the beacon might claim you.
Oh, he's gone inside the beacon. The contrast is raised to 100. Oh, the FOV. Oh my lord, look at it go. It's a beautiful map. I do love this. This is some brilliant branding. I love the beacon.
Well, thank you, Twiggy. And we should also applaud all these mappers who have built these amazing maps for us and given us such a spectacular. Well, it's the theater for all the drama that's happening in front of us.
Yep. Whizzy now looking to defend this time here, this match record that is so important in those final standings. Magorian already down by 3/10. This could be the end of it. Maybe not. Barbos drops back down as well to join him, give him another chance in this one. But with Barbos in the bottom 2, that also puts him on last chance. So now trying to claw his way back up. Needs to get up to 2nd place to avoid being on last chance in next round. For eLconn and Whizzy, they are counting their lucky stars that they're able to drop back these players with 30 points remaining.
Yeah, Barbos will be having flashbacks to week 1 where he had a good performance match 1, but finished 4th just because of these dogfights that we have in that last chance format. And he's going to need a mistake from Magorian or a mistake from one of the other players if he wants to avoid going into last chance himself. But it looks destined to be Whizzy in second place is looking to maybe claim that first spot, or he might be comfortable enough just staying in second. Getting first and second in all of these previous rounds has been enough for him to draw out his lead. eLconn seems to be on a good round, gets a very nice drift around the edge there and actually claims the match record from Whizzy. You said it was a danger. You said that some players might be looking to do it. Well, eLconn has done it from round one.
Yeah, that's something that eLconn really will have wanted on that one, to extend the lead and push himself further into that top 3. In the overall standings, eLconn and Whizzy only 2 points apart, but 2 players now on last chance. It's going to take a little bit of work from both Magorian and Barbos to drop one of these players down with them. Things really started to split apart here in the final stages of this matchup. And now 2 players looking to avoid 4th position against 2 players that really haven't looked to be anywhere near
Barbos.
4th position in the last few rounds. Barbos drops down. Barbos is DNF'd. Barbos is out. Oh, Lord. That is heartbreaking.
He brought it, really towards the end of the match, and 1 round into last chance, and I think the mental just went there. There's a big mistake on a map that he's supposed to be one of the best on. Maybe that lack of practice during the week has come back to bite him, and I think a poor week 1 followed by a poor week 2, it's not looking good for Barbos in this season.
Yeah, it really isn't. Relegation worries are going to be in his head as we move into the second game today and into our final matchup for week 3. So very important that he gets things together. Obviously, maybe a little ill, wanting to just try and squeeze out at least something from the last few games here. Magorian survives to see another day, outlasts one of his competitors. Whizzy is going to drop onto 21 points here. And now for Magorian, just don't come third.
Yeah, that's the name of the game for Magorian. Or, hope for a mistake from one of the 2 players. The worry for him is that he has not looked as good as eLconn and Whizzy so far, but you wouldn't put it past him just sort of showing up a little bit more towards the end of this match. Perseverance hasn't been his map, but he could make it work if he needs to. He's had a good start, unfortunately loses the gear there, but Whizzy has as well, so he finds himself neck and neck with the British player as they look to hunt down eLconn, who's in first.
Yeah, eLconn doing a good job staying ahead on this one, maintaining that lead. Whizzy right behind Magorian, trying to gain back some time, but Whizzy is just extending that by thousandths every checkpoint here. Magorian is having trouble keeping up, takes a more inside line, less exit speed, but catches up a little bit to Whizzy here. Every turn so important here for Magorian. A good line on the dirt, but everybody gets a good line on the dirt and nobody is making mistakes. Whizzy staying on this one. The pressure is really high for every player involved here. Magorian goes slightly further outside, going for more exit speed, trying to catch up to Whizzy here, but again Whizzy holds on to it, drops him further back. The final turn of the map here. Can Magorian get a better line? It's more inside. He just about snipes it out by 9 thousandths there. Absolutely perfect play, going for the more risky finish, and just about stays alive.
That's incredible. Talk about doing everything you can to stay in this match. It looked like it was all over for Magorian, bar a mistake from Whizzy, but that was an incredible line to take. He goes and reaches for the nearest part of the finish, gets it 9 thousandths ahead of Whizzy. What a round that was from Mago.
Yeah, that finish is so deceptive, and the closest part of the finish is the most difficult, because if you're aiming for that, you have less exit speed to begin with. We've seen so many players miss that inside part of the finish there, and that is absolutely clutch from Magorian, and that might just send Whizzy into a spiral here with 12 points remaining. Only one mistake here could send him down into last chance along with Magorian.
Yeah, but that mistake comes from eLconn. Magorian might make it through Perseverance, which, coming into the map in last chance, I don't think anybody would have expected, but he's doing a really good job so far.
Man.
It's between him and Whizzy. eLconn is really struggling at the back, and this looks like a safe bet for Mago. If he can keep it clean, if he can stay ahead of Whizzy, he might even claim some points on the British player and send him even closer to the last chance as well.
Oh man, Whizzy, we're seeing flashbacks from last round here as it stays really tight between these two. Once again, it's going to be down to that final turn. Whizzy ahead on this one. Once again, same line as last time. Magorian not able to snipe it out this time around, but most importantly, it does not matter. Whizzy is the only one celebrating in that round in that he has minimized the damage done to his score. 12 points down to 10 now. Magorian stays on 0. Things are going to get really, really intense for the final map here. Probably final map.
I think that was really important for Magorian to stay alive in that one. As you said, bringing in Whizzy and eLconn closer to that lastest chance. Lastest chance? It's a last chance. The most last of the chances. But yeah, Whizzy looked a little bit shaky in that one, actually, after a really good performance on Meltdown. eLconn has regained the lead now on Perseverance, and to be honest, Mago has just come alive now.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like that is just one of the styles of play that we have. You know, there are players that are incredibly fast, manage to get max records all the time. There are players that are really consistent, manage to get seconds and thirds and hang on until the very end. And then there are players who drop down immediately and hang on all the way to the very end on last chance. So I think, yeah, it must just be a kind of play style, some way to be able to hold on to things, just that kind of clutch potential, that mentality. Pressure makes diamonds, I guess.
Exactly, and like you said, unfortunately, Barbos wasn't the diamond in this match. He had that first round and last chance, big mistake, followed by the DNF. I think he's probably just focusing on his next match and trying to forget about that performance there.
Yep, for sure. Well, we're back on Ruby here. Very possibly our last matchup unless we get to that triple last chance. In which case there is a possibility that we go the distance, go to our 7th map of the series. It's not the orb this time, it is the diamond.
The ruby, you might even have.
We won't get back into the discussion on the trade of that. I feel like I wasn't expecting such backlash from my comments on that, but hey, here we are.
There have been some worrying DMs sent Twiggy's way following
Twiggy's broadcast. I'm wondering where the funding from this has come from at this point, because oh god, I love producer comments that viewers can't hear. That's great. No, I sound like I have voices in my head. I do, but that's besides the point.
The point is that eLconn has made an early mistake in this round. Magorian might survive to see another day again if he can keep it clean, and you know, he might even be able to might get second or first in this one.
Yeah, getting second would be absolutely massive, sending Whizzy further and further down those points. eLconn in third, gaining a lot of time, might be able to catch up here and send Magorian back down into third position. Magorian has not made a mistake, has just been slower on every single turn so far, and eLconn is being so precise, so clean, has caught up now a car's length away from Magorian, might just be able to send him back down. Magorian has a little more speed, but it's going to be neck and neck to the finish line. eLconn goes more inside, avoids the pillar, goes further round, gets a little airtime, and goes into third place. Magorian survives again by an indescribable margin. Another one where it is just 6 thousandths between them.
That is a really important round for Magorian as well. Now his two competitors are on 6 and 8 points. Now they could both go into last chance. We could have a triple last chance, which could determine that third, second and first, which would be incredible. Magorian seemed so comfortable just driving his own lines. Maybe didn't know, wasn't aware of the force that was coming behind him in eLconn, but yeah, what a finish to that round. As again, it seems like another classic has been set up by our three players who are neck and neck in this one.
Yeah, Magorian seems energized at this point. If you survived this much, you must feel indestructible now, and is now the fastest player in the round, slightly ahead of Whizzy and eLconn as we move through our turns here, move through our checkpoints. Things stay very close, but Magorian is the player out in first place. Whizzy right behind, eLconn in third, but there's only a tenth separating all of these players. Whizzy looking for a better dirt line to try and overtake Magorian. eLconn looks to overtake Magorian as well. We're moving to our final sector of the map here as Whizzy has taken first position. Magorian has dropped back. It seems like every time we get to this grass section. Magorian drops back further, and it might just be too much for Magorian this time around. He made it to so far in this one, dropped them down to 6 and 8 points, but that is all she wrote. Magorian will be eliminated in third place, managed to pull Barbos down with him, but that is it. eLconn now on last chance as well, but we say goodbye to Magorian.
What a fight from Magorian. He looked like he was under the cosh from even just round 1 of this match, but survives all the way to the second rotation to our second map, which was Ruby. And now it's last chance for eLconn. It's his time to fight and to try and drag the English player Whizzy down with him, who himself might be looking at that map record from eLconn and thinking, not only can I win this match, but maybe I can get an extra point as well.
Yeah, it's been a little while since we've seen a final where you've only got one safety net here. Whizzy only has one possible round to lose on this one before he is down on last chance with eLconn here, so really needs to try and close this one out here. eLconn has to win this round, but as soon as he gets that done, it's all or nothing. Whoever comes first wins the matchup. So Whizzy is going to try and end it right here, right now, with some points to spare. Only 6 left. And stays out ahead. eLconn with a little more speed on the exit of that will catch up just slightly. eLconn has been so fast here on the dirt section, catching up to players left, right and centre. Sent Magorian to his grave in the last round with that one. Maybe he'll be able to send Whizzy down to last chance on this. Gets a little bump, less exit speed on there. It might just be that for eLconn. Magorian did most of the heavy duty work on him, and there he goes into the pole. It's a DNF. Whizzy manages to survive with 2 points remaining.
What a match we've just seen from every single player, and Whizzy coming out in first is incredible. That's a massive result for him. To get first against that caliber of player, Barbos getting last, I think that means that his season is a bit of a write-off for himself. Magorian, great performance to get third. eLconn will be disappointed with a second, but Whizzy will be so happy with that performance.
Yeah, I'd be ecstatic. You've beaten out 2 players that are ahead of you in the standings at that point. In fact, Whizzy, only on 12 at this point, and Magorian was on 15, eLconn on 19, so that's an absolutely massive win. A couple of match records as well on that one, or one match record, but either way, points mean prizes.
Points are good.
And yeah, no, Whizzy will be very happy with that one. Barbos, obviously, it's going to be very tough as we move into our next match. We're really going to need to maximize what happens there. But for eLconn and Magorian, that is going to be like just feeling like you slightly missed out.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll be able to hear from Whizzy hopefully now as we send it back to our panel.
Oh my god. What a match, right? We knew that Div 1 was going to provide the bangers. We knew that it was going to be intense, but I don't think we were prepared. The stand by Magorian. Sure, we got to talk about Whizzy and eLconn in a second, but Melio, Magorian came so close to managing to snipe away a second place.
He didn't want to lose. He didn't want to lose. He was so far, and he didn't survive enough round. But yeah, it's sad. It's sad because he gave everything he had. So pretty insane, to be honest.
Yeah, genuinely just wild in that one. I mean, genuinely wild as well, because Whizzy, playing for Wild, wins the match in the end, managing to take down fierce opposition on that one, Boney, and ends up with the win and leapfrogging himself from 12th place before that match all the way up into 5th, tied for 4th actually with Ender. Boney, you're muted. Boney, unmute your microphone. Boney, I want to hear what you have to say.
I have things to say. So things to say. Say, you can hear me now. Say. No, Whizzy definitely just making a big splash, opening up week 2 with a phenomenal win right there. It was going down to the wire right there. eLconn just constantly keeping him honest, and at the same time, Magorian just being, I suppose, a bit of a thorn in his side. Like, I can imagine that both eLconn and Whizzy were like, "What do you mean he's still in here?" But Whizzy was able to just capitalize on it. It seemed that the longer the match was going on, it seemed like he was getting more and more in his elements, and fully deserved win on his end.
A massive win. I mean, just that round alone has done things to our leaderboard. There have been some crazy results down it as well. I don't know if anyone saw there, Richie with the full 8 points from winning that match, and also +3 on the match records. Really a dominant win. Was still on 50 points when the match ended, up against Neil, Marsley and Binks. I mean, that's huge as well. Epos 64 points when he won his match, and the fight at the top of the table is looking incredibly tense. We'll talk more about that when we get into our pre-match prep for the next one. For now, we have Whizzy joining us for an interview. Whizzy, congratulations. I mean, what a win, what a match. Incredible.
Hello. Yeah, thank you. I didn't really think that was going to happen, to be honest. Yeah, so pretty lovely, but it seems somewhat fraudulent because I don't know. It just I don't know. It doesn't seem quite real, but we'll take it. So
that's a big match from you. And I wanted to ask you a question. Like, did you think that the World Cup helped you to play better on the match like this, to not be stressed and play as the best you can and not shaking on these rounds?
I mean, somewhat. On the one hand, I kind of, I mean, at least in the World Championship, I was. You probably, some people who watch the matches, you could probably see it. I was kind of singing during the rounds, and but so I just like, yeah, we'll just listen to that, and we'll listen to some Eurobeat as well. So that gave me the helping hand. But no. But to be honest, like the pressure is just as high. I mean, even in that final round with eLconn, I kept checking the HUD to see the splits, and like going into the kind of sector 3 kind of bit, my legs were still shaking as much, like probably even more than they were in World Championship, to be honest. But in a way, it kind of helped me learn how to deal with it or manage it, I guess. So yeah, in a way, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, with a match like that, it definitely came down to the wire. Next match coming up, you're facing off, let me check, against Epos, Azox, and Neil. Would you say, like, coming out of this match, you're getting a result that you didn't even expect? Do you feel more comfortable heading into that, or did you already mentally prepare for that before and like, oh no, I'm worried about perhaps Epos obviously being the big dog right now in the leaderboards? I can imagine that's perhaps a bit stressful.
Yeah, somewhat. I mean, him and I, I'd like to think, great friends. At least he's definitely on my side, so I'm always rooting for him. But yeah, I know what he's capable of. He's ridiculous. So to be honest, yeah, answering on the first kind of part of your question was, yeah, it definitely put some pressure off me because I was kind of 8th coming out of week 1, and my aim is, I was actually the similar boat of Neil. Like, I didn't even know there was promo relegation, I'll be honest. So I was like, okay, I guess my goal is top 10 now. So but yeah, coming out of week 1 in P8, and yeah, this will hopefully give me a bit of a leg up, to be honest. So we'll see. But it definitely takes some pressure off, so I can just hopefully play decently next match and just have a bit of fun with Epos, maybe. So but to be honest, I mean, yeah, they're all gonna challenge very equally. You know, everyone else in both Div 1 and Div 2 are insane players. So yeah, you just don't know. So
I mean, speaking of that leg up that you have managed to give yourself with that big win, you are currently tied for 4th place in the standings in Div 1 with a total of 21 points. Tied with Ender at the moment. I mean, Ender ahead on the tie breaks at the moment, but you have put yourself into a very solid position.
Well, yeah. I'm not really sure how, to be honest, but yeah, we'll just try to consolidate that position, and well, we'll see. But yeah, at the moment, I'm just going to try and enjoy every moment of the games, win or lose, because even if I lose, it's like, well, these guys would very easily beat me any day. So we'll just have a bit of fun, really. So.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to scare you for your next match, but I will let you know that Epos did enter the final map of his last match on 78 points. He is. It looks like he's feeling himself today a little bit.
yeah. So he's definitely done some sort of cooking pre-match. He's probably had a good, I don't know, like 6 sandwich or something. I don't know. But yeah, he's looking really good. Yeah, I hope I don't interfere with him, but you know what I mean. Like, yeah,
Yeah, no,
I hope to give
absolutely.
him a run for his money, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see. So,
Well, Whizzy, then I suppose final question, an easy one for you. Anyone you want to shout out? Anything you want to say while we still have you here?
yeah, I think Beacon is a great league. A lot of time and has been put into it, and yeah, it's really nice to see that you guys are putting it together. So massive thanks to you guys, to be honest, for spending your time to be doing this. So yeah, shout out to all the team. But yeah, and just thanks to anyone who continues to support me. So
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for joining us, Whizzy. With that, we are going to go to a quick break. We are going to be back with one of the most insane matches Div 1 has to offer. The action doesn't slow down. This is Beacon World League, and we'll be back soon.